Hello everyone, I welcome you all once again back to the another interesting session on transition course from Sri Chaitanya Academy. This is Lalita Devi, senior math faculty, and coming to the today's class we are just going to learn about the another concept of coordinate geometry. That is nothing but the slope of a straight line. Okay, so now coming to the slope of a straight line, we will be having the different forms of the straight line that we are going to discuss in our next class. But coming to the today's class, we will discuss about the basics of the slope of a straight line. Like we know that the basic equation to represent the straight line is nothing but your ax plus by plus c equals to 0. Right? Now, if you are having your equation in the form of ax plus by plus c equals to 0, then how can we find the slope for that? That we are going to learn in the today's session. Okay. So first of all, we will learn about what is the slope of a straight line. So coming to here, so we will be having a line L, okay, and that line L is making the angle theta inclination with our positive x-axis, okay. It means the line L which we are having here, it is making an angle theta with the positive direction of our x-axis, okay. Now these angle we are going to call it as the angle, inclination of the line. Okay, now how can we find the inclination of the line means, so if we are having our x and y axis, okay, and we are having suppose a line L which is passing, which is intersecting our x at the angle theta. So now we are going to take the theta in the anti-clockwise direction. So these theta will become your inclination. Clear? So these theta will become your inclination. Now if you observe here clearly, we will be considering like it is just theta, then what is this angle will become? This angle will become 180 minus theta. So clearly we can say that whatever the inclination of the line we are having with respect to the positive x-axis, that is nothing but our, it lies between the value of 0 to 180. Okay. Now moving to the next, if theta is the inclination of a line L, then tan theta, if you take the tangent of that inclination of the line, then you will be getting the slope, and slope will be considered as the gradient of the line. Okay. Now the slope of a line will be denoted by m, and that can be given by m equals to tan theta. Okay. Now we will observe some of the conditions with respect to the slope. So here I am saying that I am having an inclination L, with respect to my x-axis, positive x-axis, right? Now, if I am having a line which is falling on x-axis, okay, so consider this is your L2, which is which is going to intersect with our x-axis. Then what is the slope will become? So there will be no inclination and it will be the 0. Now our slope also will become 0. Okay. Now if that line falls on the y-axis, then what is the angle will be? Angle will be your 90 degrees, right? And then what is the slope will become? M will become your tan 90, which is nothing but your undefined. Okay. So now coming to here, if you take, so we will say that the slope of a line which is having the inclination of angle 90 degrees is not defined. And coming to the next, the lines parallel to x-axis or coinciding with x-axis have the inclination of 0. Why? Because see, if I am having a line parallel to x-axis, it means we are not having any inclination, right? So that becomes your 0. That's the reason we will get slope of the x-axis or the line having, the line which is coinciding with the x-axis or the line which is parallel to the x-axis. In these three cases, we will be getting our inclination as the 0. Okay. Now coming to the next, with respect to y-axis, if we take, if we are having a line which is y-axis and parallel to y-axis and coinciding with y-axis, if you are having these three conditions, we will be having the inclination which is of your 90 degrees. Okay. So we can say that the slope of the x-axis will become your 0. And slope of the y-axis will become undefined. Okay. Now, another question is, what if we are having the straight line equation in the form of ax plus by plus c equals to 0. Okay. Now, we will bring that into the slope equation form. So we are having the different forms, like different equation forms for the straight line. So one of them will be the y equals to mx plus c. Okay, where this m is nothing but your slope and c will be your y-intercept. Clear? Now try to bring this equation in that form. So what we will get? By equals to minus ax minus c. Okay, so y equals to minus a by b x minus c by b. Clear? Now if you compare that with the slope form, then you will get your slope will be equals to, that means m will be equals to minus a by b. Okay, so now if you are having your straight line in the form of ax plus by plus c equals to 0, then we will be taking our slope m equals to minus a by b. Okay, now moving to the further, we will discuss about slope of a line. So how can we find the slope if the two coordinates of the points that lie on the line are given? It means if you are taking your point P and Q and those 2 points lie on a line L. Now for that line you need to find the slope. So how can we find it? They gave the coordinates of the point P as the x1 comma y1 and point Q as the x2 comma y2. Okay, now we can find the slope. And coming to the another important thing, if you look at here, we will be having our x1 and x2 are not equal. Why? Because if we are having our x1 and x2, like, so x1 and x2 are equal means what? We will be getting our x value is the same value. It means our x value will be the constant value. If you are having your x value is the constant value, then it will be perpendicular to your y-axis. Okay, so the line will be perpendicular to your y-axis, and from there you will be getting slope will be not defined, right? So for that reason we will be taking our x1 is not equals to x2, and from there we will get the slope m equals to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Clear? So now coming to the next one. So if we want to derive the relation between the given two lines L1 and L1 and L2, which are having the slopes of M1 and M2, then the lines will be parallel if they are having the same slope. It means just consider that. So how can we say means? So this is your L1 and this is your L2. Okay, now these will be your intersecting lines, but if you want to know whether these lines are your parallel lines or the perpendicular lines, we will be having the conditions in order to say that. That is, if we are having the, if the lines are parallel, then we will be having the slopes are equal. So we can write it in the simple form as the m1 equals to m2, and if the lines are perpendicular, then product of slopes will be equals to minus 1. Okay, so for the perpendicular lines we can apply the condition of m1 into m2 equals to minus 1, and for the parallel lines we can take the slopes are equal. Okay, so in simple form you can write that if they are parallel, like if lines are parallel, then it will be of your m1 equals to m2, and if they are perpendicular, then we will be having the product of slopes equals to minus 1. Okay, now moving to the next, how to find the angle between the two lines with the help of the slopes. So coming to here, if you observe, we are having the two lines L1 and L2, and they are making the inclination angles as the alpha 1 and alpha 2. Okay, so now coming to here, the theta is the angle between. So if you observe here clearly, theta is the acute angle between our L1 and L2, right? And phi will become your obtuse angle. Now the acute angle between the L1 and L2 will be given by where tan theta equals to modulus of m2 minus m1 by 1 plus m2 into m1. m1 into m2, where the denominator should be not equals to 0. Okay, so now how can we find the obtuse angle? So phi will be given by 180 minus theta. Okay, so if you do the 180 minus theta, then you will get the obtuse angle, and for finding the acute angles we will be taking the tan theta will be equals to m2 minus m1 by 1 plus m1 m2. Okay, now coming to the next one, we will solve some more, some little questions on, some simple questions on the slope. If the angle between two lines is pi by 4 and slope of one of the line is 1 by 2, find the slope of the other line. So here they gave the angle between the two lines, which is nothing but your theta they give, right? And they gave the theta and they gave the slope of one of the line. They are asking the slope of the other line. So we can take, given theta equals to pi by 4 and m1 you can take as 1 by 2 and m2 will be m. Okay, now place the values in the formula. Modulus of m2 minus m1 by 1 plus m1 m2. Okay, now coming to here, tan pi by 4 equals to m2 minus m1. So that becomes your m minus 1 by 2 by 1 plus m into 1 by 2. Okay. Now tan pi by 4 value will be 1 equals to modulus of m minus 1 by 2 by 1 plus m by 2. Okay. Now if you observe here clearly, there may be a chance you will be getting your plus or minus because modulus, so we will be having the here plus or minus. So coming to here, it will become m minus 1 by 2 by 1 plus m by 2 equals to plus 1, we can take one condition, and other condition will become m minus 1 by 2 by 1 plus m by 2 equals to minus 1. Okay, so now coming to here, so if you take the first condition, so 2m minus 1 by, so 2 plus m equals to 1. Okay, now you can do the cross multiplication, so you will get 2m minus 1 equals to 2 plus m. So that becomes 2m minus m equals to 2 plus 1. So m equals to 3. And moving to the next, it will be of m minus 1 by 2. So it becomes your 2m minus 1 by same value 2 plus m will be equals to your minus 1. So that becomes your 2m minus 1 equals to minus 2 minus m. Now minus m crossing equals to, it will become your plus m. So that becomes your 2m plus m equals to 2 plus 1. So that becomes your 3m equals to 3. And from this you will get your value equals to 1. Okay. So here we got the two values for the m. So m will be equals to minus 3 or plus 3 or m equals to 1. Okay, so like this we are going to find if the angle is given and if the slope of the one line is given. Now moving to the next, line through the points minus 2, 6 and 4, 8 is perpendicular to the line through the points 8, 12 and x, 24. Now they are asking us to find the value of x. Very easy question, right? They gave the two lines, like they gave the 2 points that lie on the line 1 and they gave the 2 points that lie on the line 2. Now they are asking, they are saying that these two lines are perpendicular and they are asking us to find the unknown coordinate x. Okay, so let's see how can we solve this. So first of all, we are just going to take the condition for the perpendicular lines. So perpendicular lines means we will be having the product of slopes equals to minus 1. Okay, first of all we will take the condition. So here for perpendicular lines, so we will be having our m1 into m2 equals to minus 1. Okay, so we need to find the m1 which is for the 2 points on the line 1 and we need to find the m2 which is of your 2 points for the second one. Okay, so now m1 equals to, consider a is the point of minus 2, 6 and b is the point of 4, 8. Now here we are going to use y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Okay, so what is the formula for the slope? Like you can take your m equals to tan theta or m equals to minus a by b. That depends upon the equation you are having. If you are having in the form of your angles, if they gave it in the form of the angles, then you can get the value of the slope by using m equals to tan theta. And if they are giving in the form of ax plus by plus c, then we can take our m equals to minus a by b. Okay, So now it is the two coordinate form. So we are just going to take m equals to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Okay. So now 8 minus 6 by 4 minus of minus 2. That becomes your 2 by 4 plus 2 6, which is of your 1 by 3. Okay. Now m2 will become, where we are taking our c as the 8 comma 12 and d as our x comma 24. Okay. Now if you apply here, we will be having m2 equals to y2 minus y1. That becomes your 24 minus 12 by 8 minus x. Oh sorry, x minus 8. Clear? Now coming to here, 12 by x minus 8 we got. Yes. Now just place the m1 and m2 values in the condition. So we will get 1 by 3 into 12 by x minus 8 equals to minus 1. Now 3 will cancel 12 for 4 times. 4 equals to, on getting cross multiplication, minus x plus 8. Now minus x will come to this side. So x equals to 8 minus 4. So we will get our x value equals to 4. Okay. So now what is the value of the x? So the coordinate value we got as the 4. Clear? Now find the slope of a line which passes through the origin and the midpoint of the line segment joining the points P of 0 comma minus 4 and B of 8 comma 0. So here they are asking us to find the slope of a line which passes through the origin. It means origin lies on that line. So one of the point is our origin. Okay. And another point, how we will get another point is the midpoint of the line segment joining these 2 points. So if you apply the midpoint formula, from there you will get another point which lies on the same line. Okay. Now here a value will become your 0 comma 0. Now we need to find the b of x comma y. Okay. We don't know what is the second one. So we are just taking it as the x comma y. Now we need to find the coordinate x and y. So how can we find? B is the midpoint of these 2 points P and B, right? So here already B is there, so you can take C. So C is midpoint of PB. Okay. Now we will get the coordinates as x comma y, that is C equals to, so x1 plus x2, which is nothing but your 0 plus 8 by 2 comma minus 4 plus 0 by 2. Okay. So now our x comma y values will become 8 by 2 comma minus 4 by 2. Now 2 will cancel 8 for 4 times and 4 will cancel 4 for 2 times. So we got our coordinates as 4 comma minus 2. Okay. Clear? So we got the coordinates of the another point and they given already one of the point as the origin. So now we need to find the slope between A, which is of origin 0 comma 0 and C, which is of your 4 comma minus 2. Okay. Now apply the formula of the slope, that is nothing but your m equals to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Okay. Now place the values in the formula. So that becomes your 4 minus 0 by minus 2 minus 0. So that becomes your minus 4 by 2. So it will cancel. So we got minus 2. Understood? Now let's solve the next one. Now without using the distance formula, given points like minus 2 minus 1 and 4 comma 0, 3 comma 3 and minus 3 comma 2 are the vertices of. If you observe this question, they gave the 4 vertices and they are asking us what type of shape it is forming. Like we know that for the quadrilateral we will be having the 4 vertices. Now if you take the distance between those vertices, then you can find what type of quadrilateral it is. But here they are saying that without using the distance formula. So what we can use? We can use the formula of the slope. So now we will be having the conditions like parallel lines. Why? Because in the quadrilaterals we will be we will be characterizing or categorizing our quadrilaterals as trapezium, parallelogram and kite, right? Where we will be discussing about the parallel sides. Now we will see if we are having any parallel sides or not. Okay. Now take the points A minus 2 comma minus 1 and B of 4 comma 0 and C of 3 comma 3 and D of minus 3 comma 2. Now if you place those points on your Cartesian plane, then you will get minus 2 comma minus 1, A which is of minus 2 comma minus 1, okay, and next we will be having 4 comma 0, so B which is of 4 comma 0, because these will we are having the y coordinate 0, it means that point B lies on the x axis. So now we will be taking the C which is of 3 comma 3, okay, so it will be like somehow 3 comma 3 which is of C, and from there we will be having minus 3 comma 2, so which will be of your D of minus 3 comma 2, okay. Now so first of all we will find the slope between the sides. If you take if you consider, we can take our AD and BC, okay, otherwise you can take your AB and CD also. So now if you take M1 is slope of AB. Now what is our M1 will be? M1 will be equals to, so y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1, so which is nothing but your 0 minus of minus 1 by 4 minus of minus 2, that becomes your 1 by 4 plus 2 6, so we got 1 by 6. Now we will take the CD, so just take M2 is slope of CD, okay. Now coming to here, it will become M2 equals to, same if you apply 2 minus 3 by, so minus 3 minus 3, minus 3 minus 3, that becomes your minus 1 by minus 6, minus minus will get cancelled and we got 1 by 6, okay. So from taking your M1 and M2, we got the slopes are equal. It means we can say that our AB is parallel to CD, okay. But we need to check, see, we are having one condition, if you are having one pair of parallel sides, then it will become your trapezium. So how can we say that it is the trapezium? Means we will find the slope of the AD and BC, and if those are not parallel, then we can say that these vertices will form a trapezium. But still we need to do another calculation. Why? Because we need to know whether these two are the parallel or not, okay. If you are not getting those are the parallel sides, then we can say that this is the trapezium. But what if we are having a chance whether we will get those two are also a parallel sides, okay. Now M3 will be slope of AD, so M3 will be equals to, so which is of your 2 minus of minus 2 by, so 2 minus of minus 1 by minus 3 minus of minus 2, that becomes your 1 by minus 3 plus 2, so it becomes your minus 1, okay. So now moving to the next, we will take the slope of your BC also. M4 is slope of BC. So now M4 equals to 3 minus 0 by, so that becomes your 3 minus 4, so which is nothing but your 2 minus of minus 1, so that becomes your plus 1, 2 plus 1 will become 3, okay. So 3 by minus 3 plus 2 will become your minus 1, so 3 by minus 1, so that becomes your minus 3, okay. Now coming to here, 3 minus 0, 3 by 4, 3 minus 4, which is nothing but your minus 1, so we got minus 3, okay. So now here we got the slope of the CD, AD is equals to slope of the BC also. So from this we can write slope of AD equals to slope of BC. So now if you observe here clearly, we got the slope of the AB equals to CD, which means these two are the parallel lines, okay. And once again, after doing, after considering the AD and BC sides, we got the slope of those two sides are also equal. So we can say that these two are parallel, Okay, now we are having the opposite sides are parallel. So what we can say about this? So now the given vertices will form a parallelogram. Okay, now moving to the next one. Find the angle between the x-axis and the line joining the points 3 comma minus 1 and 4 comma minus 2. They are asking us to find the angle between the x-axis and the line joining the points of 3 comma minus 1 and 4 comma minus 2. Now, how can we find the angle between the two lines? So, with the help of m1 and m2, which means m1 is the slope of one line and m2 is the slope of another line. Now, one of the line is your x-axis. So, now for x-axis, what is the slope? So, for x-axis, slope m will be equals to 0. Okay, now they gave the another 2 points and from there we need to find our slope of the line. So that becomes our for L2. So for L2 our slope M2 will become, so y2 minus y1 minus 2 minus of minus 1 by 4 minus 3. So that becomes minus 2 plus 1 by 1. So which is nothing but your minus 1. Okay, so M2 we got as the minus 1 and M1 we got as the 0. Now, taking your formula of angle between the lines, tan theta equals to modulus of m2 minus m1 by 1 plus m1 m2. Okay, so now that becomes your tan theta equals to m2, which is of your minus 1 minus 0 by 1 plus 0 into minus 1. So now that becomes here minus 1. So if you observe here clearly, modulus value, inside the modulus value we got the negative value, right? So negative value means we can take our tan theta equals to minus 4. Tan theta equals to minus 1. Understood? So now whatever the angle we will be taking, if you need to find your acute angle, then we will be getting our, it means then we will be getting our plus or minus we will take and we will take the modulus. But now if there is a possibility that we will be having our negative also. So now here it will become your tan theta equals to minus 1, which is nothing but your tan theta equals to minus tan 45. Okay, so that becomes your, so tan of 180 minus 45. Okay, so that becomes your tan 135. Clear? So this is how we are just going to find. So finding the angle will be very easy, but you must be very clear about what is the sign we are having for our tan theta. So if you are getting your negative value, then you can say that you will be considering your obtuse angle for that. Okay. Now moving to the next. Two equal sides of an isosceles triangle are along minus x plus 2y equals to 4 and x plus 4 equals to, x plus y equals to 4. If m is the slope of its third side, then the sum of all possible distinct values of m is. So they are asking us to find the sum of all possible values of the m. So first of all, let's represent the given data in the form of a diagram. Now we will be taking a triangle. Okay, you can name it ABC. So what they are saying that the two equal sides of an isosceles triangle. First of all, the given triangle is a isosceles triangle where we will be having the two sides are equal, and those two equal sides are represented by, one is of minus x plus 2y equals to 4 and another one is represented by x plus y equals to 4. Okay, now I am taking, so if I am considering my AB equals to AC, with the help of property of an isosceles triangle, what we can write? The angles opposite to the equal sides are equal. Now here you will get your theta and here is your theta. Okay, now two of these sides are represented by these lines, so which is nothing but your minus x plus 2y equals to 4. Okay, and here it will be of your x plus y equals to 4. Understood? Now the third side, the m is the slope of its third side, so here it will be of your m. Clear about this, everyone? So first of all, we are just going to represent the data in the diagram form. So from the diagram format, we will get to know what is the simple calculation we can do from there. Okay, now I am considering my m1 is slope of side AB. Okay, and where AB is represented by minus x plus 2y equals to 4. Okay, now what is the slope of this line will become? So we can use the formula of m equals to minus a by b. So that becomes your m equals to minus of minus 1 by 2. So which is nothing but your 1 by 2. Okay, clear about this? So we got our m1 value. So you can take it as your m1, which is of your 1 by 2. Now moving to the next. So m2 is slope of side AC. Okay, so now that becomes your x plus y equals to 4. So from there you will get your m equals to minus a by b. If you apply the formula, m2 equals to minus 1 by 1, which is nothing but your m2 equals to minus 1. Okay, so we got our m1 value and m2 value. Now if you observe here clearly, I am having my tan theta between my m1 and m. Okay, so this is my m1 and this is my m2. Okay, so I am having my tan theta, like theta angle is between my side which is having the slope of m and side which is having the slope m1. So now we can write that tan theta equals to, if you apply the formula, so modulus of m minus m1 by 1 plus m into m1. Okay, so if you consider from your side AB and BC, okay, so now we are going to consider another side also, which is nothing but your AC and BC. If you consider, this is also theta only, right? The same angle we are having. So here it becomes your tan theta equals to modulus of m minus m2 by 1 plus m into m2. Okay, now place the values here. So we will get tan theta equals to, otherwise we can equate it here only, so it will be very easy for us. Okay, so now coming to here, we can finally write it as modulus of m minus m1 by 1 plus m into m1 is equals to m minus m2 by 1 plus m into m2. Clear? Now what is our m1 value? m1 value is 1 by 2. So we will get m minus 1 by 2 by 1 plus m into 1 by 2. Okay, which is equals to m minus of minus 1 by 1 plus of m into minus 1. Clear? So we can eliminate the modulus on both the sides. So here we are just removing the modulus on both the sides, and after placing the values of m1 and m2, we will get this equation. Now minus into minus will be plus. So now simplify this. So you will get 2m minus 1. So 2m minus 1 by, so here you will get 2m minus 1 by, and here it will goes to 2 plus m. So 2 plus m equals to m plus 1 by 1 minus m. Okay, so finally we got one of the relation. So simplify this. So if you simplify it, you will be getting your, so 2m minus 1 into 1 minus m. So 1 minus m is equals to m plus 1 into 2 plus m. Okay, so this is the equation you will be getting. Now if you simplify it, you will be having 2m minus 2m square minus 1 plus m is equals to 2m plus m square plus 2 plus m. Okay, now just take all the terms to the one side. So now that becomes your 2m plus m, 3m. So if you take them to the other side, that becomes your m square plus 2m square plus, so here you will be having your 3m and 3m, which is nothing but your 6m. Okay, so any sign change? M equals to minus 1. So minus into minus 1 plus 1 and minus m, 1 minus m. So you will be getting the equation of, so after solving this, you will be getting the equation of minus m square, so which is of m square plus 6m plus 2 equals to 0. Okay, so plus 1 equals to 0. Now they are asking what is the sum of all possible distinct values. Sum means, now this is the quadratic equation, right? So sum will be given by minus b. So here you will be having your minus 6. So sum equals to minus 6 we are having. So minus of minus 6 will be sum equals to 6. Okay. So after solving these conditions, you will be getting your value of the sum, which is nothing but the 6. Okay. Now moving to the next, the slope of a line is double of the slope of another line. If tangent of the angle between them is 1/3, then the slope of the lines is. So they gave the relation between the slope of the two lines and they gave the angle between them, and they are asking us to find what are the slopes. So coming to here, we will be having, so just consider m1 equals to m, then your m2 will be your 2m, because double, right? So now they gave the tangent. So tan theta they gave as 1/3. Now in the place of tan theta we can take our formula, modulus of m2 minus m1 by 1 plus m1 m2, which is equals to your 1/3. Okay. Now place them here, so that becomes your 2m minus m by 1 plus m into 2m equals to 1/3. Plus you can take, and otherwise you can take your minus also. That becomes your 2m minus m by 1 plus m into 2m equals to minus 1/3. Okay. So now if you simplify them, you will be getting what are the m values are. So coming to the first one, 2m minus m equals to minus 1/3. So you can do the cross multiplication. So that becomes your 3 into 2m minus m minus 1 into 1 plus 2m square. So here it will be of your 6m. So 2m minus m, you can take it as the m into 3, so that becomes your 3m. So 3m equals to minus into minus 1 minus 1 minus 2m square. So now here the equation will be 2m square plus 3m minus 1 equals to 0. Now if you do 2m square minus 2m, okay, so we need to find the factors. So which is of your 2 into minus 1, which is nothing but your minus 2. So minus 2 you can write it as plus 2 and minus 1. Otherwise you can directly apply your quadratic formula. So minus b, so which is of your minus 3 plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac, that means 3 square. So which is nothing but your 9 minus 4 into a 2 into c is your minus 1 by 2 into 2. Okay. So that becomes your minus 3 plus or minus root of, so minus into minus will be plus, and 8. 9 plus 8 will be 17. Just a quick question, how much of JEE Advanced is on the easier side? Plus or minus root of, so 9 plus 8 will become your 17 by 4. Okay. Now coming to the next, we will be having the 2m minus m is equals to, so you can take it as your 3m is equals to 1 into 1 plus 2m square. So that becomes your 2m square minus 3m plus 1 equals to 0. So you will be having plus 2 and you need minus 3. So that becomes, you can take 2m square minus 2m minus m plus 1 equals to 0. So taking 2 common, so that becomes your minus 1 and minus 1 common, m minus 1 equals to 0. So m equals to 1 and m equals to 1/2. Okay. So these are the possible values of our m. Now moving to the next. So coming to the how much percentage of JEE Advanced is easy or medium. So when you are preparing well for the exam, then it will be easy for you. So just try to prepare, just give your best for the JEE Advanced in your preparation, then you can find it easy. Okay. So coming to the advanced exam, if you are just preparing a lot, then you can make it better in your exams. Okay. So we can't predict what is the future, right? So that's the reason. So just try your level best to clear it and prepare well for your exams. Now moving to the next, If you are having any doubts, you can fill the Google form and you can ask the doubts to us directly, and we will solve your doubts. And if you want any of the practice sheets, like if you are preparing for your advanced exam also, you can join our Telegram channel, and there you can find the required questions. Like we are having the previous questions there, we are posting, so that you can answer them and you can prepare well for your exams. Okay, so that's all for today's class. Bye everyone, take care, we will meet in our next class.